In 1592, the Japanese forces led by Toyotomi Hideyoshi launched a sudden invasion of Korea, marking the beginning of the Imjin War. Villages were set ablaze, civilians massacred, and the once peaceful Joseon dynasty thrown into chaos. This unprovoked aggression disrupted the lives of thousands, including women who would soon rise to defend their homeland. The initial attacks were swift and merciless, leaving little time for organized resistance. Amidst the devastation, a group of grieving women, having lost their families to the invaders, vowed to fight back. These women, from all walks of life, nobles, peasants, and artisans, transformed their sorrow into resolve. They began organizing in secret, using whatever tools they could find. Their determination marked the birth of the female righteous armies, a guerrilla force that would become a thorn in the side of the Japanese forces. Hidden deep in the mountains, the women trained relentlessly. They practiced archery, spearfighting, and guerrilla tactics, adapting their skills to the rugged terrain. Maps were scratched onto bark, and strategies were devised using the natural landscape to their advantage. Their training was grueling, but their spirit remained unbroken. These women were no longer victims, they were warriors. The female righteous armies launched their first ambush on a Japanese supply unit. Using the element of surprise and their knowledge of the terrain, they attacked from the cliffs, raining arrows and rocks down on the unsuspecting enemy. The samurai, caught off guard, were overwhelmed. This victory proved that the women were a force to be reckoned with and boosted the morale of their growing ranks. News of the ambush spread quickly, and survivors from other villages began joining the female righteous armies. Nobles, peasants, and even former slaves united under a handmade banner, their shared grief and anger forging a powerful bond. The army grew in numbers and strength, becoming a symbol of hope for the oppressed. Their ranks now included skilled fighters, strategists, and healers, each contributing to the cause. The growing threat of the female righteous armies did not go unnoticed. A collaborator, bribed or coerced by the Japanese, infiltrated their ranks. Secret messages were passed, and the enemy began closing in. The women, unaware of the betrayal, continued their operations, but the danger loomed ever closer. Trust, once their greatest strength, now became a vulnerability. The Japanese forces, informed of the women's stronghold, launched a full-scale siege. Arrows and fire rained down on the mountain fortress as the women fought desperately to hold their ground. Shields made of doors and barricades of rocks were their only defense. The siege tested their limits, but they refused to surrender, their resolve unshaken even in the face of overwhelming odds. As the siege wore on, it became clear that escape was the only option. A small group of women volunteered to stay behind, forming a rear guard to cover the retreat of their sisters. They fought valiantly, holding the narrow pass long enough for the others to flee. Their sacrifice was a testament to their courage and loyalty, ensuring that the spirit of the righteous armies would live on. The surviving women, now reduced in number, devised a final desperate plan. They lured the pursuing Japanese forces into a flooded valley where the weight of their armor became their downfall. The samurai, trapped and drowning, were helpless as the women vanished into the reeds. This last act of defiance ensured that their legacy would not be forgotten even as the war drew to a close. As the Imjin War ended, the story of the female righteous armies spread across Korea. A lone survivor, her body scarred but her spirit unbroken, whispered their tale to the next generation. Children listened in awe, their imaginations alight with the bravery of these women. Though their names were lost to history, their legacy endured, a testament to the power of resistance and the indomitable spirit of women in the face of tyranny.